Please listen carefully and take good notes. This is your introduction for adding and subtracting inequalities. Please pause the video and copy what you see onto your paper. Press play when you're ready to begin. Okay, so if you solve the equation, you get the one solution for x, which is 7. So you only have one solution that x can be, and that is 7, and this is how you graph it. Okay, go ahead and get this down on your notes. Now that you've graphed x equals 7, now we're actually going to solve this inequality. So you do it the same way that you solve the equation, only you keep this simple, making sure that you recognize that the variable is on the left-hand side and the solution is on the right-hand side, because that makes a difference later on. So if I go ahead and subtract the 10 minus 3 to get 7, I do not have just one solution. There are multiple solutions that x can be now. So we actually need to draw a new number line. It's not going to be as big as the one before because we're going to represent all values greater than 7. So I'm just going to make 7 tick marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, this is what you have to pay attention to. Open circle, okay, means that the answer cannot be 7, but is going to be greater than or less than 7. Closed circle means that it can equal 7 as well as be greater than or less than. So this solution right here, since x is only greater than 7, we're going to put an open circle at 7. And we're going to draw a line to the right of 7 representing all those multiple solutions that could possibly be there. And make sure you put that arrow on, because if that arrow is not there, then that means your line ends, and it doesn't end since there's an infinite many of solutions. Okay, here's number 2. You have an equation. You also have the inequality part of it. Go ahead and copy down what you see, please. Press resume when you're ready to solve the inequality. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve the inequality the same way we did the actual equation. So we're going to end up with a on the left side of the equation, or the inequality, and then our solution is going to be on the right-hand side. So this has to represent all values less than 1.5. It's not equal. So not equal, but all solutions less than 1.5. Okay, so that's going to go here. So let's put an open circle at 1.5 because it's not equal to it. And let's draw that line showing with an arrow to represent all values less than 1.5. Okay, for problem number 3, go ahead and write down and copy what you see on the screen. Press play to resume solving the inequality. Okay, for the inequality, this is why I needed you to notice what side the variable is on, because now it's on the right side and your solution is on the left side. So again, we're going to add the 5, okay, to get rid of the negative 5 on the right side. So since our variable is on the right-hand side, keep it there. Negative 6 plus 5 we already know is negative 1. Now, this is where you have to be careful when you read it. You have all possible solutions, okay, that are equal to negative 1 as well as less than negative 1. So you're used to reading it like this, but you have to be able to adapt to read it backwards and forwards as if you were having to read it like this, because we're not sure how it's going to look like on your K-Prep, okay? So this represents All solutions less than -1 as well as equal to -1. So this is going to make a difference in our graphing just with, remember, open circle just for less than or greater than, but a closed circle because it can be equal to it. So this is why I'm having you compare this to the equation, because we know if we're graphing one solution, then it equals that number. And that's why I'm putting it on these notes so you can compare it to it, and hopefully it makes a lot more sense to you. But when we're graphing less than equal to -1, we need to put a closed circle because it can be equal to it, and then we're going to draw our arrow going less because n is representing all those values less than -1. Go ahead and copy everything you see for problem number 4. Press play to resume to solve the inequality. Okay, we already know, since our variable is on the left-hand side, to continue that down. And we know that 6.6, the solution from number 4, or from the equation. So let's go ahead and graph this. Notice that y is greater than or equal to 6.6. So that's, therefore, y is going to represent all numbers greater than 6.6 as well as equal to. So our circle is not going to be open, it's going to be closed, okay, to compare that to our one solution of 6.6. So let's count over from the bottom, on the bottom graph, starting from 0. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here is 6.6, closed circle. And since y is greater, we have to make our arrow go to the right and represent all those numbers that are greater than 6.6. To get some further practice with adding and subtracting your inequalities, I need you to get your notebook, or not your notebook, your workbook, and turn to page 501 and complete numbers 1 through 12. You will have a couple of word problems, but this should be pretty easy for you. So try your best so I can see who's ready to move on tomorrow.